Bonsoir les amis, this is Llyane Stanfield and you can find me at ParisianFrench.com. Tonight I am restarting the Daily Minute with Joëlette video series, and the reason is because I'm going to be very open and transparent, because I have 5 spots for the intensive program, Joëlette Intensive, and I am looking for the people who are ready to really make conversation in French and to do it such that they check off, or you check off, French from your bucket list. I have 5 spots and I am looking for the right people to fill in those spots for the month of May. I will actually alternate what I'm giving you every night. It's going to be for beginners as well as for intermediate. The intensive program can be done at any level, can be started at any level. Obviously, if you're advanced, which I know there are a couple of people here, there is the advanced program that I have for you, so not the intensive program. But for the intensive program, to start the intensive program, you can be either 0, you can start from absolute 0, or anywhere up to the intermediate level. The intensive program prepares you for a high intermediate to advanced level of conversation. But if you do start as an intermediate conversationalist, then I do include in the intensive program anything that we can fit from the advanced program. So today I'm starting with a topic that is more for the beginners, although some of the intermediate people, as I always try to do, could find it useful. So it is about the possessive, and the reason I said in the description that it is, well, how to learn it for conversation is because most people learn for learning rather than for applying. So in order for us to apply what we learn, we have to learn in a certain way. And this is why I'm very big in cheat sheets. It has to be something, so the way we learn has to be something very encapsulated, very short, so that when you give a glimpse to that cheat sheet, it tells you everything you need to know. So I am going to give you my cheat sheet and the way I teach it in the intensive program. And if you would like to practice, whether you join the intensive program or not, if you'd like to practice this, I invite you to write your own examples under this video. So the possessive can be expressed in more ways, but I do want to talk about the possessive adjectives. And the reason I'm calling them possessive adjectives is because they give us information, additional information about a noun, about an object, a thing, a person. So it is about my, your, his, and so on. So if I say, for instance, the book, or a book, that has no information in it. It's just a book. We know that we're talking about a book, but we really don't have anything that makes that book special or different from, any other book that is in, the idea of a book. But if I say the blue book, then I know more about the book, right? So it's a blue book. What if I say Missy's book? That means, it's not just another book, but it is her book. And so this is why her book is exactly what I have said. So when I'm sorry, I have just to take off this Wi-Fi here. So when I'm saying Missy's book, or this book is Missy's, right? So Missy's book, I'm talking about a book that belongs to Missy. Now, if then instead of the name Missy, I'm going to say her book, right away I have some more information about the book. So the moment I have stuff that talks, gives me more volume, more, makes the noun, which is the book, the object, makes it more three-dimensional, this is that's an adjective. An adjective qualifies a noun. So we're talking about the possessive adjectives, meaning those words that are actually showing us who has possession over that particular object. Notice that I'm not going into any kind of grammatical lingo. So, Missy, you know, because we worked together and we are working together, you are doing the intensive. And Jeffrey Jeffrey doesn't know too much, from me too much grammatical lingo, but Missy's teaching too, and so we are talking more in the terms of grammatical lingo. But if you don't know or you don't want too much grammatical lingo, then I'm not going to use it. And so because this video is, and all the videos that I'm really making here in the group are to accommodate like every level, it's easier to make it simpler and avoid the grammatical lingo or explain it than to go above the heads of some people, and I really want to include everybody. So the possessive adjectives, my, yours, his. And so the way to learn the possessive adjectives for conversation, like I said, is using something that's encapsulated, something that is like a cheat sheet that is so clear or clear enough that it would be, it's easier to visualize when you speak, right? Because we do need to do that. We need to get eventually like a picture of that cheat sheet so that when we are speaking, that comes to our mind and we can remind ourselves of the words that we need to say, to speak. So the way to structure them, the possessive adjectives, are one-to-one, and I'm going to write into the description of this video. So it's one-to-one, meaning one owner to one object owned. And here we have mon, ton, son, my, your, his, or which is in the masculine, masculine being the object owned, not the owner. So that would be mon livre, ton livre, son livre. And the feminine would be ma, ta, sa. And the feminine is of the object owned, again, not of the owner, meaning if I'm a girl or Jeff is a boy, then we would not change this adjective depending on the gender of the owner of the object. So, ma table, ta table, sa table. My, your, his, or hers. Then the second category, one to many, one owner to many objects owned. And here, as soon as the plural comes in, then we don't have genders anymore. So we have mes, tes, ses. So I can say mes livres, my books, or mes tables, my tables. It's the same form for both genders when there are more. Then the third category is many owners to one object owned. And that would be notre, votre, leur, our, your, their. And so an example for this would be notre maison, right? So we are more in the house. Notre maison, the house is one. We own together one object, the house. And then the fourth category is many to many, as in many owners to many objects owned. And that would be, for instance, us right now talking nos ordinateurs. So the forms are nos, vos, leur, again, our, your, their. But in this case is when we are more and we owned more things. And so because I have a computer and you have a computer, then we can say nos ordinateurs, vos ordinateurs. leur ordinateur. And because for those more advanced, because all these words, adjectives, end in an S because it's a plural referring to more objects, then the S at the end makes the liaison. So we can say nos ordinateurs, vos ordinateurs, leurs ordinateurs. So this is what I have for you for tonight. This is a part of, this is actually taught, I'm teaching this, believe it or not, and some people who are intermediate, and this is kind of what happens to me, are coming for the intensive program. They're not coming, sorry, for the intensive program, feeling or thinking that they are too advanced for my intensive program, but this particular topic is actually introduced in the first 4 lessons. I'm starting, I believe, lesson 4, lesson 5, or something like that, where I'm introducing these possessive adjectives. And so don't believe, if you're a beginner or starting from zero, and a lot of you are, please do not assume that if I'm talking about this in the beginning, that means that this intensive is literally intensive. So the program can be done as relaxed as you want it to be. And I changed my program, and I changed the way I introduce, and the pace of it depending on each person. So reminding you that I am looking for 5 amazing people, whether you are starting from absolute zero or you're anywhere up to the intermediate level of conversation for the intensive program this month. And this is one topic that now you just heard of it. Some of you knew about it, but the way that I am introducing it and the way that I work with it is like that, in this structure. But this is nothing, right? So you're not yet speaking it, right? So this is not yet part of your vocabulary, unless it is. So I'm talking about people who are starting from zero. Like I said, I'm going to alternate topics, advanced and beginners. Not advanced, sorry, intermediate and beginners. So that I can show to everybody from all levels how whatever it is interesting to you is included in this program, which I call intensive because it can be done in an intensive way. In fact, from zero to low intermediate to advanced level of conversation, I can get someone in 5 months, and most people want it really quickly. If you don't, I also have people doing this program in 1 year, 2 years, and so on, depending on their availability and the motivation. So this is what I had for you for tonight. Stay on your game, and don't ever give up on your dream to become bilingual. Learn to speak Parisian French and break your language barrier. Merci beaucoup et à demain. Au revoir.